So check it out now. This is why I couldn't really ever get down with street life, okay? There's too many inconsistencies, too many hypocrisies. And to be honest, man, shit never makes all the way sense, okay? Now, I get it. I get the term. If you're not in the streets, stay on the sidewalks. But I also am a human. I think we all have a shared experience. Now, when you think about Pop Smoke passed away at the age of 20. He was murdered in cold blood. Seems like a assassination because 4 masked gunmen ran up into a Hollywood home. Apparently, he was there with maybe 4 to 6 other people, yet he was the only person that was shot multiple times, and he died. Now, police are trying to solve this crime. They're trying to solve this murder. Now, the police are coming out to say, we're kind of running to a dead end. Yes, we have surveillance footage. Yes, we're processing other DNA and other crime scene information that we might have to perhaps find whoever the suspects are that did this. But one of the biggest things that could help us is that there were niggas there. Like, there were people actually there. So the people that were there, they were cool with Pop Smoke. And the cops are saying they're trying to interview these motherfuckers. They're trying to ask him, like, okay, do you see anything? You remember anything? Do you know anyone that may have done this? Like, listen, who is it? Who the fuck is it? Who killed Pop Smoke? The cops are saying the witnesses ain't saying a motherfucking thing. Now, we understand if you're, quote unquote, in the streets. And by the way, let's not get it twisted. Pop Smoke was a street rapper. In his music, a lot of times he's told about GDK. If you don't know, GDK is Gangster Disciples Killer. Okay? They are talking about that life. Supposedly, they've also lived that life. Now, from my understanding of what goes on in the streets, when something happened, there's a no snitching policy, which means if you do a crime with a motherfucker, you don't tell on the person you do the crime with. But I think it gets a little hazy when somebody does a crime to you. For example, somebody kills a loved one, your relative, your homie. Apparently, in the streets, you handle it in the streets, okay? However, I get all of that, and I understand maybe some people says, why am I going to tell the cops when I'm going to handle it myself? Or maybe they just say, fuck the cops, period. But you never see the streets keep in mind with people's families. You never hear a street nigga say, yeah, I ain't gonna lie, man. When so-and-so went to jail for like 20 years, their mama had to take like 2 extra jobs cleaning floors. They got kicked out of their apartment. They couldn't afford that big size apartment anymore. Pretty much when one person dies or one person goes to jail, or somebody does some street shit that eventually gets them hemmed up, you don't only fuck up your life. You fuck up a lot of other people's lives. You have kids growing up without a father. You have brothers who miss their brothers, sisters who miss their sisters, moms who miss their sons. A lot of things happen and a lot of trauma comes from it. But of course, the streets, they don't really give a fuck about trauma. They just care about you shutting the fuck up. Now, in this situation, it reminds me of the Busta Rhymes situation. If you guys don't know, Busta Rhymes' bodyguard was murdered like a decade plus so. And when the cops came, and by the way, this happened in front of a lot of people, supposedly. This happened at a video shoot. Some guys pulled up in a vehicle, shot a bunch of shit up. Apparently, it was after an argument that happened before. And they killed Busta Rhymes' bodyguard. Allegedly, that bodyguard jumped in front of a bullet for Busta Rhymes. Now, of course, Busta Rhymes' bodyguard, his mom is crying more than a son. They're saying, we got to solve this crime. Now, when the cops came to interview Busta Rhymes and other people in that situation, they said, who did it? We got to go lock him up. Who did it? They basically looked at the cops and said, we don't know. Now, granted, I just want to also say, maybe they handled it, quote unquote, in the streets, but at least from what we're reading, that those murders were unsolved, this, that, and third. For the family and the people affected, you'll never understand the trauma that a whole family goes through when there's an unsolved murder, or really you don't know the truth behind why your loved one died. Okay? This is speaking from experience because my family almost got ripped apart because honestly, we never found someone who killed one of my uncles. And that's where you hear a lot of theories going around and people want revenge, but you don't even know exactly who and exactly how deep it was in terms of the plot to kill someone that was close to you. So again, when I say that, not saying that people should be cooperating if they want to quote unquote handle it in the streets, but people definitely tend to forget. And I think about it firsthand. I think about the parents. I think about the brothers and sisters that's not in the streets. And they're wondering what the fuck went on. But of course, again, you know, some people, I guess they choose to deal with it in the streets. Again, maybe these witnesses change their mind or maybe they really don't know anything. I'm just saying people will criticize and crucify 6ix9ine for snitching. Granted, he didn't tell on his guys. But here's the thing. I think there's a very hazy area where I think a lot of people do love Pop Smoke and they do want his murder to be solved. Okay? What do y'all think about the matter? If you're one of the witnesses, you're one of the homies, are you telling the cops or are you handling it in the streets? Okay? I want to do that poll in my comment section. Let me see where you fall on this side of the fence. And by the way, even if you're saying you're telling the police or you're saying you're going to handle it in the streets, tell me why. I want to read it. Okay? Get a comment. You guys like and subscribe to Akademiks.